Okay.
They do it. We got to do it. So, hello, live here at Kordoranowski, Yankee T News here with Jason once again, the Dream Team doing their thing with Connecticut Common Sense News and Entertainment.
And we are also live on Facebook. Welcome again on this beautiful Friday night, August the 7th, 2026. And once again, we are here with Kordoranowski, Yankee T News.
Yep.
And just to briefly get into it real quick, I like to be transparent about the development of Common Sense News and Entertainment. And we are soon, very soon, about to acquire a body cam and a microphone and some more
Equipment.
Social equipment. Yep, for social media reach and covering some stories. I also want to let you know that on August 11th, we're going to be live covering. We're going to find the right polling site in Waterbury. We're going to cover the poll that day live on Common Sense News Entertainment.
Is this where we're going to deal with the fact that the police have to stay 250 feet away from the poll?
Yeah, we'll deal with whatever that is. And then on the 12th, there's going to be John Bolton's going to be here in Manchester or nearby here in Manchester.
Hey, here's the problem. If there's an incident at one of these polls that requires intervention by the police and they're not allowed to come within 250 feet, how's the incident going to get resolved?
Well, I would think it would say, except for in the case of an emergency or of a call of duty, does it say anything like that in the provision or no?
It depends upon what they call an emergency, right? Well, it will be some asshole Democrat who's the poll moderator. And yeah, I can just see how this is going to go down.
I can see how it's going to go down, but I'll bet you, so the police won't be allowed. But if you're like, if you're another political group like Antifa and you want to hang around and intimidate
people, polls policed by Antifa. Now we're talking. God, this is just getting worse and worse.
Well, it leads to the overall general thing that I think we should start talking more and more about is that we're not going to, I don't think we can resolve this with voting and polls, unfortunately. It's just there's too much animosity and too much unhinged. They're not playing by the rules.
Never do.
They don't care about elections.
Okay, well, all right. I want to respond to that, but I need to let you know that Eric just texted saying that where he's living, the power is out, so he can't come on tonight.
Oh, well, looks like the two of us are going to have to carry the load. I think we can do that, though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Eric's the guy I got to talk to. Eric's going to help me engineer this technology. So we're going to drop a lot of money in Eric's lap to put this thing on the map and make it a little more. What we really want to do is be able to upload our programming onto schedule.
Yeah, which raises which raises another question I just want to quickly bring up. Wait, JK is with us? Yes, my man. Okay, JK, so
just kidding.
Yeah, no, count on him to keep us on track. Yes, on track. So let's see, what was the point I wanted to make here? So Eric, DJ,
we can play this game tonight.
Yes, we can. I would hope that others would do. We got to check.
While you're talking, I'm going to prepare it though.
Yeah. So is it like Trivial Pursuit, but American style?
I really don't know. We're going to find out, aren't we?
All right. Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Looks cool though, but we'll get to it.
Yes. All right. All right. So what was I starting to get into here?
What's on your mind tonight? That's what I want to know.
A lot. I just well, let's put it this way. What I want to talk about, we got to, as I put it, there you go. Nice. America's spirit. I'm starting with the Connecticut GOP slop. All right.
Oh, no, yeah.
And the part that just really has me upset more than anything else has been the incredibly poor contributions that the Connecticut GOP has made to especially state representatives running for office.
Especially John Sparrows.
So it is. So that's federal. And so I'm told that there is as many as 40 of the 151 seats in the State House of Representatives where no Republican is running. 40.
That's the number. I thought the number was 25.
Yeah, I did too. Until
last election, it was about 40. So that means that's zero improvement.
No, it's worse than zero improvement. It just to me, it just shows that Ben Proto is not providing anything that can be confused with leadership. He has no clue as to what it takes to run my favorite phrase, an effective political organization.
Okay, this is where I think we go wrong. I think Ben Proto is perfectly capable of running an effective political organization. He's just choosing not to. He's there to stop us. He's not there to help us. He's a mole. It's not like he's trying and he just isn't good at it. That gives everybody an excuse just to say,
go there. So, all right. So you're calling him a traitor to the party.
I'm calling him a traitor and an enemy to the people of the United States of America and the people of Connecticut. Yes. Because he does you were there. This is how I met you. I met you when I ran against Proto last year.
Sure, no, I remember.
You know the kind of underhanded crap he was doing during that process. That's all nefarious.
Okay, but if we're being honest, it is the typical standard underhanded, nefarious crap that every politician uses.
Right. It's not every politician, but yes, many politicians use. And yes, Ben Proto is not the only problem. I get that. Okay. Yeah, but he's the guy that's like, he's the mole that's been put in a position of power in this party and is basically seeing. Well, again, I'm just going to say, fundamentally speaking, why would you even have anybody running? He's sponsoring Chris Shea against John DeBarros. The Proto is.
Yeah. Okay. As far as
why would you even do that?
Okay. That said, while you could, the way I look upon Proto, I see Proto as a mole the way I see Goofy as a mole. All right.
No, it's not. It's worse than that.
Just so hopelessly incompetent.
No, he's not incompetent. He's brilliant. I think he's brilliant. He's brilliant in tearing down the fabric of our conservative movement here in Connecticut. He's a genius, actually, in my opinion. I don't think he's a stupid man at all. I think he's perfect for the job. Take down the Republican establishment and see to it that nothing happens. Why would you even put somebody up against John DeBarros with all the momentum he has? Why would you even do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that if your heart was not in the right place? If it was in the right place, why would you even do that? It's a very simple question that we should all ask ourselves. All of those that are saying, pleading for unity in the Republican Party, I get it. I get we all want that, but.
All right. Well, Eli here. So this is a friend, I guess, of Ricky's. Says now it's Ryan Fazio's race to lose, unfortunately. And
unfortunately, I agree with him.
Yeah, it's just.
It's hard to be optimistic in this situation, at least.
I kind of put Ryan Fazio and Chris Shea in the same box. They just don't inspire. They have no fire in their belly. They do not speak with conviction.
Well, look at their voting records from the love of Peter.
Okay, well, I mean, the voting record for
terrible for Fazio. And for, they're all bad voting records.
Well, Chris Shea has no track record.
Well, Betsy was the real reformer, and they snuffed her out in May. So,
right. Well,
that's really it. Betsy was the winner. Betsy was the Trump girl. Now they're both. I mean, now Shea is talking about how, I don't know if this is true or not. There's a guy named Make Ortiz that came out with a story that they found a bunch of propaganda with Shea claiming that Trump has endorsed him when Trump never.
Yeah. It's like Mark Twain's old saying, right? The lie travels around the world before the truth even gets one pant leg on.
Yeah, I don't know what I could tell you now, as a Common Sense Entertainment editor and reporter, I put about 65% to 60% reliability on that story. I don't know this Ortiz guy.
No, he wouldn't. No.
But I'm not going to sit there and put truth to that.
Yeah.
But Shea is a worm, though. That I can tell you.
By the way, so you know that Eric interviewed Jonathan DeBarros last night.
Oh, did? Right here on the program?
Well, so here's the thing. So Eric has been running Riverside. I've been using StreamYard.
Right.
By the way, I've added Twitch to our list. So now we've got 4. We'll see how Twitch does. One of the things that I've heard, and I have to confirm this, is that monetization with Twitch is really easy.
With Twitch?
Yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
Also very easy with Rumble.
Right, but small amounts.
Well, Selena, Selena Rifkin, my awesome co-host on Connecticut Common Sense Tuesday and Thursdays, her and Jay and I would do that show, and it's really getting a lot of momentum. And she's getting us hooked up with Substack, and she's going to get pretty soon. You're going to start to see donations coming into the bank account through Substack. Pretty soon, it's going to happen.
All right.
And
but we don't. Do we have a button? Where's the donation button?
First of all, multiple social media reach. Number 2, like unified into one thing. With the subscriptions, and the second major thing is the ability to say to our journalists that are out in the field, myself and others, okay, once you have your video, upload it to this site where we will take it in and put it in our calendar.
Yeah.
Either as raw, it's either going to be put on as raw video, or we're going to edit it down to a program.
Well, the other part that I like to think in terms of is, you go to a number of websites and they have these tiles, right? So for each video, there's a little picture, a thumbnail, a date, a little bit of information, and the link. Okay, rinse and repeat. So if there's 200 videos, you want a whole page of that format so a person can pick those videos and access them.
Oh, yeah. So I'm right on top of that. So our website, which your son is working on for me, once we release the JBD website, it's shortly after is going to come the CSD website. And with that, we've subscribed to a service that's going to give us news feeds on the website. So just to get it active to start before we, it's what you're talking about. It's going to be things you can click on and all the stories that are out there. And it's kind of it's a little bit generic for now. It's going to have a lot of stories everybody else has for now, but it's just to get things off the ground. And then we start putting more of our own content into there as time goes on. And it's a slow process.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. But once it happens, though, it starts to go faster once it kicks in.
You're probably right about that.
And also, I know that when you see that, we only had 10 or 11 viewers or whatever, so that's a bummer. But remember now, our shows are being reposted on Facebook and in 10 different groups on Facebook. And they're getting a lot of views on Facebook.
Reposted?
Yeah, like in the dozens and the hundreds they get. Our show is getting on Facebook. Between dozens and hundreds, almost every one. So people are watching us on Facebook more than they're watching us here, apparently.
Yeah, well, this is to me just evidence. It's just evidence that YouTube is throttling us. I mean, it's like didn't I send you that video about what's it called?
Yeah, got 2 billion
views. Next News. The guy has over 1 billion views.
Yeah, I saw the 2 billion. Yeah, I saw. I actually watched part of that one. I got.
And then
we can't let that. I mean, it's just like we can't let that really worry us or stop us. And that's why it's important to have a diverse reach, multiple social media sites. Rumble and Substack have never been accused of censoring, as far as I know. So we're gonna be all right. And really, the ultimate goal is to end up with a cable channel.
All right, the other one I wonder about is Vimeo. So Vimeo has 340 million viewers. And so that seems kind of substantial to me. It's not on the same scale as X and Facebook or YouTube.
Well, 340 million is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So, it's my plan to add that to the list with my StreamYard setup. And I think, and the other thing is, talk with Eric, you got to do the same thing there. But yes, this strategy of diversifying our channels as much as possible, it's a very sound strategy, no question.
I agree. So that's why that process, that part of it is taking longer than I feel like it should, but it's coming together now. And just remember that it's really time management is the biggest thing in the way.
Well, for us, yes.
I had like 50 grand to put in a bank account and just live my personal life off it for almost a year or whatever. I don't spend a lot of money.
50? So you could live on $50K a year?
I could live on $50K for the year, yeah, easily. Less than that. Probably 40. I don't spend a lot of money.
Okay.
Your expenses here. I don't care about material things. I mean, I just need food, clothing, shelter. I'm good. And clothes. God, I'm wearing some of the shirts I've been wearing in the 1990s.
What about Melissa?
She's not the same way. We're both frugal.
Okay.
She actually makes a little bit of money by like buying things that are like at the dollar savers or whatever for like $1 or $2, and she paints them up, makes them look nice, stencils them, and then resells them for more, like handcrafting kind of thing.
Okay.
And so the bottom line is, if I was able to just carry myself without having to work the investigation as much for 9 months or so, then I could devote all my time to this thing. But I can't. What happens is I only have a couple hours a day, 2 or 3 hours a day to put into this thing, and that's the slow crawl. That is the slow crawl.
Yeah.
Time management. You only have so many, you can be as ambitious as you want, but you only got so many hours in a day.
All right. Well, let's come back again then to Connecticut GOP slop.
Let's do that.
We were picking on Ben Proto, as we should. But I have to believe that there is something beyond Project Red Hawk that begins to look. I started to make a list. So the issue here is, if I find these people, you know what? I'm going to.
You got to talk to Steve Stern, the guy that knows Bannon. He's doing the same thing. He's doing Operation Red Hawk.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Here, let me back up for you a little bit. He picked up on the work that was being done by a gentleman in Arizona whose name escapes. He's like Dan Perkins or something.
All right.
And so it was, and he, by the way, picked up on the same concept, for lack of a better term, that was being used back in 2010. Back in 2010, there was a video called The Strangest Secret No One Knows. And the strangest secret no one knows is how our political parties are organized. And that is to say, you have your national organization, then you have the state chapters for the national organization, and then within each state, you have local parties. So your beloved Coventry RTC would be an example of a local chapter of the Republican Party. And every one of the 169 towns, as we know, all have local chapters. And this was news. This was news back in 2010 because so few people knew about it.
Well, it's also that it also should be noted that political parties are private organizations or private corporations. They're set up like that. They're not connected to the government in any way. They're private organizations.
I would have to take a closer look at what you mean by a private organization.
Well, they're private. They're treated like a corporation. They're not part of the government. They're not part of our three branches. They're not.
Yes, okay. There might be an element of truth to that. Let me just take a quick look here. Are political parties?
Why they can change their own rules and write their own bylaws. They don't really have to. Technically, they're not beholden to any kind of, any of the principles of the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is rights that we're protected from against the government. It doesn't protect us against corporations. It doesn't protect us against other citizens. That's what the justice system's about. The Bill of Rights only protects us against government action, not against Comcast or AT&T or your next door neighbor or your pastor at church. It doesn't protect you against those things. Here's the game board for the trivia game. It looks a little complicated. You probably have to answer questions and work your way up.
Oh my God. God.
Tell me, what did you find out?
Okay. All right, look, there's been this with me. Let's put it this way. With me, there's been this bitching and moaning about what are called PMAs, or private membership associations. Does this discussion sound familiar to you?
Kind of, a little bit, but refresh me.
You're going to have to make this intensely familiar now.
Okay.
Okay, so the background history of a private membership organization or association is that it functions almost outside of statutory law. The early example were what are called fraternal organizations, moose clubs, elk clubs. These were mutual benefit societies where back in the day, you became a moose or an elk in order to participate in a group insurance plan. So they had a social component to it, but that was their ultimate purpose. Okay.
Right.
All right. So PMAs have since become more popular, especially following COVID. So you had educational private membership associations.
It was like the VFW, American Legion would fall under that.
Those would be more like nonprofits. Okay.
All right,
but I mean, if they have some mutual benefit component to it, then yes, they're more like a PMA.
Okay.
All right. In all my searching and research and trying to understand the scope and the basis for PMAs, I had never considered that political parties would be considered PMAs. Because look, PMAs are being turned to as the answer to the problem of being attacked, laid into, suppressed by the government. The PMAs are supposed to be a shield against the statutory authority of the federal government and the state government.
Okay.
All right. That's the thinking. And to a certain extent it's true, not entirely, but to a certain extent it's true. And true enough, so that people can form these organizations and basically say to the government like that. And so now I am still trying to deal with this.
So political parties are independent from public scrutiny, really. They are.
According to the all-knowing internet, yes.
Yeah, I've been told that by all-knowing human beings.
This is insane, but good. Okay, it's insane in a good way. Oh my God.
Well, it's just like anything can be used for good or evil. It's what gives Ben Proto the basis to rewrite his bylaws however he wants to see fit.
Seems so.
Mm-hmm.
Seems so. Okay, so
I'm in the past that we reorganize this in a way that makes the parties more accountable to the people. And I'm rarely in favor of government being involved in more than it should be. But maybe this is one area where they should be. It should be a little more. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Regulated, suggesting that political parties should be more regulated.
I hate regulation, but maybe in this instance, just a little bit.
Well, I mean, there are laws concerning, you can't commit fraud, you can't steal money.
Right, and you can't
lie. You can't lie, cheat, and steal. But they try anyway.
A world without regulation is anarchy, and I'm not an anarchist. I don't trust the government, but I'm not an anarchist either. We need some form of authority.
Okay. All right. So the other way of thinking about this has not been laid out clearly in the way that it should be so that we understand this because, look, this is one of our tools to protect ourselves against overregulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why PMAs are so important. And now to find out that the political parties themselves use them so they don't get pushed around by the government. Wow.
So join your local moose club.
Right.
One of my best friends, childhood friends growing up, who's since departed, his family, his girl that he met and had kids with, her and her family were longtime members of the Moose Club. And they always seemed to have such a good time when they went over there. A lot of friends and
sure.
Very close night. Good thing, really, in my opinion. I don't know.
Okay, so so my theory of the case here is that PMAs are the tool of choice to defend homeschooling families from the state in their effort to, force these background checks and other things on them. PMAs are the shield, the wall, if you will, that stop them.
Maybe we should organize speaking engagements at some of these local.
Well, for what it's worth, this crappy vacation of mine, which is, it's not entirely crappy. Some good parts, some very good parts.
Okay.
But it has clearly interfered with the things that I really need to get done. So August 22nd, that's a Saturday, at the Killingworth Public Library, I'm supposed to be putting on a meeting for homeschooling families about how to deal with the state coming after them. Okay. I don't have much time. Today's the 7th.
How big is your library? How many people can we fit in that place?
30. It's a start. It's just the first one. Okay. You want to get rolling, at least got to get it started.
Well, I'm with you in the fact that this is an area where we must sound the alarm.
Yes,
because this affects the way our children.
So there it is. Really. Okay, so if there is because people don't know enough about PMAs, they don't know how to react to this information. Okay, There's lots of videos. There's this really long book that was written by, of all things, some lawyer in Hawaii. So it's been incumbent upon me to take the time and trouble and spend the money to understand the law around PMAs as deeply as possible, because I want to be able to look at the parents and say, this is it. This is how you're going to, basically give Governor Lamont the finger. Mm-hmm. This is how you do it. All right. Because they're not going to, but we have a lot of other things need to be in place to make it work. That's the problem I'm having, but that's okay. So that's my thinking on that subject.
And then moving it back into the problems that we're having in the Republican Party in Connecticut.
Yes.
The race between Shea and DeBarros.
Yes.
I do have some good news.
What's that?
I think DeBarros is too big to rig.
That's interesting way to put it.
I think he's going to win the nomination. I think he's going to beat Hayes in the fall.
Uh-huh.
You know why? Because I know that there are many, many, many people that are registering to vote for the very first time.
What?
Vote for John DeBarros.
How did you find it? What?
I heard from the horse's mouth. I talked to John. I talked to Selena, who helps him on volunteers for his campaign, by the way. And
what? That's incredible.
Droves of people from Waterbury in particular Inner city, like I told you, he's got the inner cities.
Man.
These people that don't normally register to vote are coming out and doing that. He's doing the magic, and then more people need to know about that, which is why he's going to win next Tuesday. And by the way, this is the week that he's going to. Yes, this is the week that this race is going to get any national publicity that it's going to get.
Yeah.
With the primary coming up this coming Tuesday, so I feel like it's too big to rig, and I know that once he gets past Shea, that he's going to take it right to Hayes, and we got so much juice on that corrupt woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and these same people that are all registering to vote for the first time will be there in November as well. So it's very good news.
Okay.
Too big to rig for John DeBeers. You heard it here first. He'll be in Congress.
Yeah, but there was somebody who surprised me as being for Shea. Oh, Joe Visconti.
Is he pro Shea?
He seemed to put up something that seemed pro Shea on his Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw something like that.
Yeah, well, meantime, Joe Visconti lives over in East Hartford, okay?
I think he might have been being sarcastic to that. I don't remember exactly what he wrote, but it seemed like sarcasm to me a little bit.
All right, well, I hope that's true. So, in any event.
I kind of remember that because I've been kind of arguing on behalf of DeBeers on Facebook lately and a little bit on X.
Yeah. So this is maybe getting a little bit into the weeds, but I need to bring up.
Lose power here too, just shortly, just so you know, we're getting a big thunderstorm rolling in here. There's lightning flashing everywhere outside my window.
All right,
this could be it.
Well, okay, well, I'm at a safe distance in New York State. So, and by the way, I'm back for Ellicottville. All you folks, come on out to Ellicottville.
How far are you in upstate New York?
It would be. It's just going to sound strange.
If you drove to New York City, how long is it?
There's a hilly region to the west in New York State between the Adirondacks and the Allegheny Mountains in Pennsylvania. So that in that hilly region in between,
I've been there,
is where you find Ellicottville.
Okay, I think I drove through that once. In 2013, I drove to Seattle via Niagara Falls. And after I got through Niagara Falls, I drove down through that area you're talking about into Pennsylvania instead west.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have a passport at that time. Yeah.
So I would just say it's an area that has its own charm, very rural, lots of farms. I even came across a farm that's growing sunflowers.
Wow.
How many farms do you find growing sunflowers?
We went 0 for 2 here, 2 years in a row to try to grow sunflowers. We went 0 for 2.
All right. Well, maybe you have to start earlier.
Maybe that's it. I think that's what she said too.
Yes. When did you plant them?
I don't remember, but it was too late. It probably wasn't until June.
Yeah, that was way too late. Way too late.
Well, we get the possibility for ground freeze occurs in Connecticut all the way up until the end of May. So,
got to take your chances.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway. All right. So there are two tyrants to talk about. We've talked about Ned Lamont, and but then there's another tyrant, lesser known, but far more pernicious and evil. His name is Matthew Hoey. He's the first selectman for the town of Guilford. And this guy, I'm telling you, this is more important than it seems, because he's responsible for several tricks that have been successful in terms of stuffing the Republicans into a box. Or shall I say stuffing the conservative Republicans into a box, never to be heard from again. And what it comes down to, it's a case where the absolute rhinos in the Republican Party have made common cause with the Democrats in Guilford, and in the process have pulled tricks, legislative tricks, statutory tricks, town rule tricks that leave the conservative Republicans in Guilford with no place to go. And so that's been the story for the last several years. Now we have.
That's why our party cannot unite until we cleanse it.
Well, this would be a factor, but what I'm getting at here is that this Matt Hoey guy has engineered politically a situation where the Republicans who want to do anything significant are left powerless. And the only thing we have right now, the only shred of political power, is that there is a Republican who is functioning as the third selectman for the town of Guilford. However, Matt Hoey has reformed what is called a charter revision committee, and he's made rule proposals that would eliminate even that person as part of the town government.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be completely Democrat, or rhinos that always agree with Democrats. That's all that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, did you hear about the incident recently at the Norwich Town Hall where some people were kicked out? Just
yep. And who's the mayor or first selectman for that city?
Oh, it's some guy with Sayadi Haid or something. I don't remember his name.
I'm going to be crude. So
not an American.
He's a towel head. Okay.
He's a towel head. That's right.
All right.
He's a towel head in this country anymore. I'm sorry. Either
I'm trying to remember
and stop you if you're a towel head. Okay, if you're an Islamic or Muslim person.
Yes.
And you don't want to see us, the Western world, destroyed.
Yeah.
Time you step up to the plate and clean your religion. Just like we'll tell Democrats to clean their party from this DSA crap, should also tell, if there are any, by the way, mainstream Muslims out there. I don't really hear them anywhere. If they exist, this would be the time to fix your religion, if it's a religion at all, and get these murderers out.
Yeah, well, the answer is
no.
Yeah, no. The answer is
not a creek, not a morsel, not an iota.
Okay. So anyway, and by the way, just to be clear, I'm trying to remember the name of the religion. Is it the Singh religion? I'm drawing a blank on what is the proper name for it.
All right.
Let's see. See if I got it right. Sikh. That's right. I'm sorry. Sikh. So he's a Sikh. So he's not a Hindu. He's not a Muslim. He's a Sikh. And Sikhs kind of fall between the cracks when you're trying to figure out where they stand in terms of their religious values.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no question that he's no friend of democracy. All right. And the issue here is that his conduct really is no different from what happened in the meeting in Guilford a few days ago. Okay, the same kind of tyrannical attitude, the same refusal to listen. I heard that the mayor or first selectman for Milford was absolutely rude. You had all these people coming up, sending a message, and he was just sitting there, wearing earbuds and looking at his phone while they were talking. That is beyond rude.
Crazy.
Okay, beyond rude.
That's insane, really.
Okay, and that kind of conduct cannot be allowed to stand. So I'm not sure what it begins to look like. Personally, I think it would be every day people go and complain. Every day they go after him, they confront him, they put him on the side. Every day. I don't see. And then in the meantime, a vote of no confidence, a petition drive, getting on the social media. Yeah, I'm going to say it, doxing him too. Okay, if you're going to have an elected official being that arrogant to the people who supposedly voted for him, no, you're not going to let him get away with that. So that's the problem we have in Guilford, and now that's the problem we have in Norwich. In the meantime, on a quieter scale, a similar problem in Guilford.
And other towns too.
So even as we have a state legislature that has decided to ignore the people in the state of Connecticut, you have these local governments that are effectively doing the same.
And how about the government? Let's throw in Southbury and Cheshire in there. Two RRTCs that should have given John DeBarros at least a chance.
Yeah.
Basically, treated him like a criminal and wouldn't even let him in there to speak. So those two should be held accountable for that kind of crap too.
All right. Well, there's got to be a better way of holding them accountable than the two of us just sitting here talking about it.
Well, that's where the news and entertainment thing comes in, where we get cameras out there. We start approaching these people with cameras and asking them about them directly. That's one of the ways we fight this thing. Embarrass them. They should be embarrassed for your undemocratic behavior. How dare you stand up and for democracy when you're not in your words, when your actions are the exact opposite.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a disease that's growing throughout the state, if not the nation.
The nation. Yeah, the whole nation.
Yeah, but we have examples here that we can point to and show evidence.
Well, this is, again, directly connected to the mental health crisis we have in this country. We have a lot of people that just aren't thinking straight. We have people that should be, honestly, in my opinion, there are hundreds of thousands of people in this country, if not millions, that probably should be in a mental institute, and that are not. That are instead not only out and free and wreaking havoc, but sometimes in leadership positions. Elizabeth Warren is sane.
Of course not. Well,
No,
but
she's a crazy old woman. She belongs in a nursing home at this point of her mental attitude.
Okay, but to be clear, we're not one of you're. We have to make a distinction here between attacking personalities, okay, and attacking people who are essentially traitors to this country.
Okay, yeah, there's a difference. There's those that are being duped and those that are doing the duping. Right? There are those that are.
She's doing the duping, but she's doing the duping on behalf of a cause. She has an agenda. It's not just her with some pet project of hers.
It's an evil agenda.
Drinking beer at home.
It's an evil agenda that she's aware of, and she's purporting it anyway. So is evil the same as insanity? Now, not all insane people are evil, but are all evil people insane?
No, of course not.
No.
So
it's all about, well, in this fight, we must go after and remove, really, the people that are doing the duping. And the dupers will come around. The ones that are being duped, which are the much bigger number. We're not going to jail all the duped. Well, they're just being misled, most of them. Look at the old women that go to the No Kings rallies, all the older white women that walk around these No Kings rallies. These are all people that are being duped.
Well, all right. You know what?
Duping.
I'm going to agree with you. How's that?
Hey, all right.
I'm going to just, let's see. So I'm just going to try something. Do you know anybody who lives in Bolton, Connecticut?
Yes, I do.
A fighter, perhaps.
Well, I was once a resident of Bolton, Connecticut.
Okay, but
that town is very near and dear to me, but I don't live there right now.
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, I know a couple of people in Bolton. I don't know if I have someone that's going to step up and. Unfortunately, this is one of our problems. We don't have enough people that understand the urgency of this thing and want to help.
Right.
Other than going to vote. Going to vote is great, but it's not good enough, really. We need more than that. I don't think our opponents honestly care about elections. They're trying to rig them the best they can. And when they lose elections, like when Donald Trump won, they don't respect the results of the elections.
Yeah. So, how about Colebrook? Do you know Colebrook?
Yeah, I know Colebrook. I don't know anybody in Colebrook though.
How about Columbia?
My father was still alive. He would.
All right. How about Columbia?
Columbia, I do know some people from Columbia that are conservatives. I don't know if they're retired. I don't know if they have the gumption to fight.
I see.
Weird. But I do know some people from Columbia, yes.
All right. So now you paid a visit to the Coventry RTC, right?
I went to the Coventry event. I have not gone to an RTC meeting yet. I emphasize yet.
I see.
Soon enough.
So, I mean,
I'm going to do a Coventry what Selena has done so brilliantly with Ansonia. Selena Rifkin,
yes,
has single-handedly awoken the Ansonia RTC and is turning it now into a functioning, viable, and cool RTC for the people, which it really almost didn't exist a year ago. It wasn't bad; it just didn't exist. There were no meetings going on. It was dead. She's revived it, so I want to do the same thing for Coventry.
Well, okay, then we'll get a clue from her. So I call them MAGA contacts. So she must now have some MAGA contacts in Ansonia.
Yeah, she does.
All right. Well, I guess
a lot of other things going on that I can't talk about because it involves investigations, but they're good things. Yeah. It just gave me an idea. We should get you on a Thursday at 2:30 coming up soon. We'll do a crossover. We'll have you on as a guest on my podcast with Selena, and then one night I'll get her. If she can stay up long enough to come on here live with us on one night on a Friday or Saturday. How do you think?
Yeah, okay.
That'd be a good idea.
How about Manchester?
Manchester, where I was living. I don't live there anymore. I know a lot of people in Manchester. I know a lot of poor people in Manchester that can't stand the car taxes in that town, which are through the roof.
Okay, well, but the idea is we're still looking for the same thing: people who want to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know New Britain, I think, that might want to get involved.
New Britain, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's a maybe. Yeah, it's a lead I cut onto a little bit.
All right. Well, I mean, maybe if you could follow up on them.
maybe. Yeah, of course. No, of course. I mean, yes. But again, it gets to the. I mean, I have a task list of about 500 things, and I can only do about 7 a day or 8 a day, or maybe 10 on a good day. So it's just one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
We need more people to help do what we're doing. We need another like 6 people that we can clone like us that want to go out and do all these things, and that way we can start banging out these tasks in a more efficient way. Again, if I didn't have to work.
Yeah, so right now it's just about collecting names. That's all. Just collect names. That's all we're talking about.
I think we want to. Money is important to help us do this. I know it's not the thing. John DeBarros is proving that you don't need a lot of money to win.
Yeah, but he's been working at it for a long time, and
starting early, being thorough, telling the truth. Being yourself. Don't be afraid to go to all the different areas. Run what I call a campaign on steroids, which is I was prepared to do against Larson when I was going to run against Larson, but I never got enough. I just couldn't get enough momentum. It was too late in the game. Yeah. The barrel did start like literally right after the last election. He was pretty much already underway.
Right. There were some other people. Who were they? Darn it. Why am I drawing a blank on this? I'll have to think about it later. It'll come back to me. Well, so anyway, let's shift now to the last thing, which in some ways I think is the most important: the emerging community of nations. Now, I have not read deeply into this, but the headline alone is worth discussion, and that would be where Turkey, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia have signed a mutual defense treaty pact.
Mm-hmm. Like a NATO, like their own version of NATO.
Well, yeah, in a sense. Let's see here.
Well, that's what it is.
They call it the Mecca Agreement. Yeah, it is like NATO. Any armed attack against one of us. This is World War I all over again. I cannot believe it. So let me just read a little bit of this. The pact was announced in a meeting between Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Turkish President Erdogan, and Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif in Mecca. Okay, calls for a collective defense clause that would trigger a military response if any of them faces an armed attack. Now, the problem, of course, is going to be what they consider to be an armed attack. They may be splitting hairs here. But the thing that precipitates this, obviously, is the fact that Iran continues to be a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. They continue to be one big jerk.
Well, Trump is now saying this is their last chance. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I get why. It frustrates me, but I get why he's I'm going to say it. He's pussyfooting around with these guys the way he is. I do understand I think Trump means it when he says he doesn't want to kill people if he can help it. But it's at the point now where I do think the citizens of a country do bear some responsibility for the behavior of their own government. And I do think we're probably doing the things that we need to do on the inside, hopefully, to help them take it down. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to break too many things. But I do expect this to resolve itself soon enough. And I think it's fair to say that while Iran is resilient, we have to give them credit for being resilient and having contingency plans that prolong this. I think it's this point, what they have left has got to be limited. There can't be a lot left, really.
Well, the question is what? Okay, but that's fine. But what cost are we willing to bear? That's what needs to be answered. So look, if you've got 100,
at this point, we can't go halfway, 3/4 of the way down the road and then just cut the bait. I mean, to me, at this point,
let me create a simple scenario for you. There are walkie-talkies, cheap, funky walkie-talkies that can be used to network a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, like little Nextel used to have, boop, 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 and you can talk long range.
Yes.
Yeah. You know the story of that, right? Back in the 90s.
There you are in the mountains of Iran. And you've got these guys with these El Cheapo walkie-talkies with 5 or 20-mile ranges on them,
or longer.
And able to, at each point there is some facility, some cave, something where they can hide a weapon, And so I'm now talking about 100 locations, and let's say each one has two. All right, that's it, just two weapons. And so now they're in a position to harass us and use the walkie-talkies to communicate with each other. All right. Now, maybe NSA has the ability to listen in on this stuff, but by the time you figure out what's going on, it's too late. So, great. And so you can degrade them all you want, but you're still dealing with 200 weapons. All right. We get all a Twitter, we get our panties in a wad when one hits a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. One.
Yeah, but out of these 200 weapons, our continuous attacks will diminish that number.
Okay, but over time, this is the problem. Okay, and so what happens though is you still have the people, the shipping companies who are acting quite frankly chicken shit because they're afraid of losing their ships, and so Iran can sit there and just have what amounts to a turkey shoot almost, and we're not. Unless we have a better system for eliminating these things on a rapid basis, they're going to be able to sit back, talk to each other in the walkie-talkies, and decide who's going to fire next.
That's why I keep saying, just go in there and use whatever you got to use.
Okay, 200. I mean, if we're just talking 200 missiles, then that's going to easily last 4 or 5 months.
That's if we don't hit any of them. All right, so.
No,
I'm running out of time.
They don't all have to hit them.
I'm running out of time here, so before we go,
you got to bag it. Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow I have a grueling day ahead of me. It's so bad it's going to bleed into Sunday morning. So I have to go to surveillance all day, and then I got to go.
Okay, so all right, now let's try the game. Let's go.
I have to go to a casino and find somebody late at night. So anyway, here's the game. I'm going to ask you. You're going to be the subject of these questions. The game itself is complicated. We can't play the formal game, but I have the cards here. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
There's 10 of them here. Some of them are very disappointingly easy, honestly.
Okay.
Shouldn't miss. And there's a couple that might be a challenge. So here we go. You ready? I'm going to ask you 5 multiple choice questions first.
Okay.
See how you do on those. And then I have some straight answer ones. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. The Library of Congress was started from which president's personal collection in 1800?
Oh, geez.
Jefferson, Washington, or Madison?
Jefferson.
You win. Walt Disney World is located in Orange and Osceola counties. What county contains Disneyland? Is it Disney, Los Angeles, or Orange County?
Ooh, Disney.
Nope, it's Orange County.
No, but they own the land. It's all their own.
Yeah, but it's in Orange County.
In Orange, but it's not. No, okay, that's a technicality because.
Well, it's got to be in some county, even if you own the whole thing, right?
It would have to be Disney County because they have their own municipal authority. They set their own rules.
But maybe Disney's the name of the town, not the county.
Anyway, okay.
Okay. Who was the supreme Allied commander during the campaign that liberated Europe in World War II? Eisenhower, Westmoreland, or Patton?
No more choices? Okay, well, Eisenhower, yes, go ahead. Yeah,
correct. Yeah. If you climb 13 lucky steps of this state capitol building, you'll be exactly 1 mile above sea level. Where are these steps? Colorado, Montana, or Washington?
Colorado.
Good. 4 for 5, 3 for 4. Last one of the multiple choice. In 1539, Hernando de Soto thought he'd found the fountain of youth in which state? California, Hawaii, or Florida?
That's another stupid question. Florida.
Yeah, they are kind of stupid. All right, here comes 5 straight answer ones. I'm not even going to ask that one. That's so ridiculously easy. I'm not even going to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the next one. In 1980, what did John Anderson unsuccessfully try to do?
Run for president.
Become elected as president.
He did run. He got 10% of the vote.
Successfully in being elected. He is not elected. Okay.
Right.
Next one. Which state contains the zip code 90210? God, these are dumb questions. We're going to need better questions for this for our game.
Oh, please. Yeah, all right.
We're doing it for
if you
kids.
didn't watch the show, shame on you.
We could do it for kids. What famous American gave the speech, I Have a Dream? Come on, Martin Luther King. These are dumb. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Fill in the blank.
Jeez.
These are embarrassing. Fill in the blank. Who blanked JR?
Who blanked? That I don't know.
Who shot JR?
I don't know.
You don't watch TV, though. You don't know
Yeah,
TV.
you call that American history? Seriously.
Well, Who Shot JR was a major television cliffhanger that really captured the nation by storm that year, 1978, I believe it was.
Okay, well,
On the TV show
all
Dallas.
right, the kind of question I would ask that was supposed to be
Sucked.
really educational is what was the name of the lawyer who inspired John Adams to fight for the concept of certain inalienable rights?
John Locke.
No, I said the lawyer.
Oh, lawyer. Oh, I don't know. John Locke was a lawyer. It's a good question. Lawyer influence. He must have been from Boston area, probably.
Correct.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
a name you would know. Anyway,
Okay,
it was 1761, and the gentleman's name was James Otis.
I've heard that name before.
Yes, so James Otis.
I would never be able to pull it out of my hat, though.
Considered a brilliant lawyer back then, and they were having a little tiff with the British Crown over the imposition of what were called a writs of assignment. So a writ of assignment was essentially the same thing as unreasonable search and seizure in our day.
Okay.
So you had smuggling going on, and the smuggling was to evade paying taxes. British government didn't like that one damn bit. And so they imposed this writ of assignments that supposedly entitled them to break into anybody's house at any time in any circumstance on suspicion of smuggling. So James Otis sued the British government, the Crown, over this, claiming that the writ of assignments violated, this is a quote, certain inalienable rights. Now, the source for this concept was actually, as you suggested, John Locke. But James Otis would have been the first to put this into practice in the law. And it was what John Adams grabbed onto, and as they say, the rest is history.
Okay, before we go, I found something here that's maybe more interesting.
Okay.
This is like a who am I thing, all right?
All right.
I like this one. See how you do. Maybe they're a little too easy still, but let's find out. I'll do this one. So it's basically, I'm going to give you some clues about this person, and I get warmer and more. You're going to invest what I'm talking about. It's like a who am I, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I got my start on Mulberry Street.
On Mulberry Street?
Yep. Got a guess yet? No?
Let me think for a second. I mean, Mulberry Street would have more likely been in Philadelphia than in Boston, but it could have been in New York too. Let me start. I know I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to say John Adams.
Okay, no. Next clue. I like to rhyme all the time. These are good. These are better.
Alexander Hamilton?
Nope.
Well, you like to write poetry.
No, it's not all about politics now. It's all about American culture all the way around. So,
okay.
Mind beyond just the
all right, Williams Wordsworth.
Nope. I created Gerald McBoing Boing.
That one I have no idea. Got me there.
Okay. I like Sneetches and the Lorax.
Sneetches and the Little Rats?
No, the Sneetches and the Lorax.
Lorax.
Lorax, the Lorax.
Oh, well, that would be.
Oh, it's the tip of his tongue.
All right, come on, Doctor.
I can almost see it right there.
I can't believe I'm blanking out on his name there.
Now you know who I'm talking about, though. And
yes,
this will get it. This, do you have a guess?
I'm trying to remember his name. Here, I'm going to cheat.
You don't need his real name, only his stage name.
Dr. Seuss.
Yes, you got it. There was one more clue left. I'm a doctor with no medical degree.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one more, then I'm going to run.
Okay.
This is a place. My locks have no keys.
My locks have no keys.
Yep.
No clue.
Next one. The railroads dried up my business.
The railroads dried up my business. Locks have no keys. Railroads dried up my business.
I can see the brain swirling over there. I can see it swirling.
I know I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm going to say Vanderbilt.
No. Next clue. I have 2 banks, but no money. Just like me and Melissa. But we're not the answer, though. I have 2 banks, but no money.
All right. I'm going for the stupid, obvious answer, J.P. Morgan.
No, remember it's a place.
Oh, it's a place.
Yes.
I have
My
have
locks
two
have no
banks.
keys. The railroads dried up my business. I have 2 banks, but no money. Next clue. I am 363 miles long. These are good.
160 miles long.
You got them stumped. You got it on the 4th
California.
clue last time.
California?
No. And I am filled with water.
Filled with water.
There's a song about me, too. If I can remember it on the
The
ukulele,
Mississippi
right
River?
now.
No.
You're getting warmer. Remember, the railroads put me out of business.
Yes.
363 miles long. My locks have no keys.
All right,
I am 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am the Erie Canal.
Oh, that was 360 miles long?
Across Pennsylvania or across New York.
Wow. Well, yeah, Purdue, yeah.
Across parts of Massachusetts. I think parts of Massachusetts and New York.
Have you ever seen the remnants of the Erie
drove
Canal?
over a bridge once that I was told was a part of the remnants of the Erie Canal, but I was driving over it, so I didn't really see it.
Mhm.
But it is a place that was the major trade route waterway in this country from the mid 1700s all the way into the mid 1800s, mid 1800s, early 1800s. I'd say.
Right. Yeah. We
It was the
forget.
way we got our stuff. It was our chain. Part of
Yes,
our,
the railroads would have put them out of business. That's right.
yeah. So those are cool. We'll do a couple of those. And I think if the regular questions are too easy, we'll have to either do it for kids or get tougher questions. I like that, though. There's this what do you think one, too. Name a craft associated with the American Indian. Name a city that has a Chinatown. There's asking you to name stuff. This is a pretty cool game. I think we can work this in once we get our things running. But for now, I got to run. I really got to get some shut-eye, get a little bit of food in me and get some shut-eye. Got a grueling day ahead of me tomorrow. Got to find some lady at a casino. And
well, good luck with that, as we know.
Yeah, your son was going to have to go with me, but I let him off the hook because he did such a good job for me the last couple days. And I'll leave this down here. Such a good job in getting us through like a real heavy area where we were asked to do a lot in the short.
I heard. Okay.
All right, then. For Common Sense News and Entertainment, remember the battle is always between the state and the family. Don't ever forget that.
That's right.
For Arnowski and Nikki Tunes and myself, God bless Connecticut. God bless America. Good night, everybody.
Right. Later, Jason.